Last time sizing session was too short. No, it's the printers are busy. The printers are busy. It's going nuts here. We're doing so well. The printers are all super busy. Excuse me. Soup time, soup time, soup time. Okay, I'm going to mix this tougher. I've just made a new batch and we've got 1 liter left over from, was it 2 days ago? Yesterday? It wasn't yesterday. 2 days ago we did this. So I'm going to mix them together, use it, and then put the rest back in the fridge. So we got 3 liters now. 2 new liters and 1 liter from yesterday. All right, I don't know, there's going to be new people here, lots of new people, I guess. So there's going to have to be lots of repeated explanations. Up at the front here I see lots of regular people, you know what's going on. First, get the brush warmed up. Takes a couple of minutes. Get the brush nice and soft. All right, let's do the first of what might be 1,000 explanations today. All right, who knows? Paper. Paper is what, oops, that's the show and tell. Hide this for now. Printing paper is ready. We've got printing paper for making woodblock prints. That's the sheets as they came to me from the paper manufacturer. We're going to make woodblock prints on it, and this is the first stage of the process. Yeah, please help, of course, please help. And before the paper can be used, somebody's already put the bot command in there. The paper has to have glue. The surface of the paper is too soft for woodblock printmaking. If we rub on it and rub on it, it just comes apart. So stage 1 of making a woodblock print, we have to what we call sizing the paper. Put glue on the top surface of the paper. That's what's going to be happening this morning. This is not going to be a wonderfully interesting stream of all kinds of different things happening. It's going to be the same thing repeated again and again and again. I'm going to put glue on paper. That really sounds like fun. Whatever. If there's interesting questions, we'll make the stream interesting. If you guys are all just silent, it's just going to be glue on paper. What we're going to make, there's going to be, after this is finished at the other end of the process, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 9. There will be 15 woodblock prints will come from each of these sheets. The prints that are going to be made on this paper are about postcard size, and there will be 15 of them from each sheet. I've got, I can't remember, how many sheets have I got here? Whatever, about 15 sheets, I don't remember. And I would have liked to have cut it in half to do this, but when you're doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, you can't cut it in half. So we'll do this in 2 batches. Anyway, too much talk is no good. We got to do some action. Also, there is a reminder. A couple of people already have reminded me to take the printing paper out of the freezer. It is out. It's all done. The printing paper for the girls over there has come out of the freezer. I still have laundry. Maybe you can remind me in about 15 minutes from now to hang up my laundry. But other than that, we got to get going. Full service audience, yes. Okay, let's get going. The brush looks nice and wet. I think I got it a bit too close to the computer screen. Just a sec. Okay, let's go. Good start. How many prints a day do we make? You say he, it's a we now. There's a big workshop here. There's 4 of us carving. I don't know how to count how many of us are printing here. There's 4 or 5 in-house printers, and we use 3 or 4 outside printers working in their own home. How many prints a day we make, I don't know. We can't really count them like Toyota cars, but I don't know. It's not in the hundreds a day, of course, not at all. I have a plastic cover on my keyboard for those who are nervous at the moment here. About the poetry series, the Yakunishi series, 10 years to show. In retrospect, it sounds like a really big deal. My God, this guy did a project that took 10 years. But, you know, it was my job. And when you think about it, you know, I mean, there was some guy in the one of the exhibitions or whatever. He's asking, my God, 10 years. You did the same thing for 10 years. How could you do that? I just asked him, you know, what was your job? What do you do? What do you do? He says, I'm a bus driver. And I'm like, oh my God, how long have you been doing this job? He says, well, I'm nearly retired. I've been doing it like 37 years. And to be a bus driver for 37 years is a whole lot more difficult than what I did making a print series for 10 years, you know. It was a job. Brought up my kids, you know. Bought a house. It was my job. Yes, somebody's mentioned this, the marketing aspect of this. I didn't really think about that stuff at the time, you know. It was much more self-centered. I was thinking of my own thing, you know. Can I actually make prints? Will people buy them? Can I make a living at this? It was kind of a self-centered approach. But it turned out, that as somebody says, it turned out that it was great, quote, marketing, unquote, although I didn't understand that. It had fabulous media power. Well, we knew it would have media power, but it had insane media power that just kept on giving again and again. You know. The media in Japan is always, I don't know, all these stories, when a foreigner comes to Japan to do something, the media is all over you, you know. It's really a bit of a, if I said hypocritical, that's the wrong thing to say, but it's a bit of an interesting situation. If you imagine a situation, a Japanese boy decides to go overseas to some country, pick a random country. What's one thing they do? In Italy. It's a thing for Japanese guys to go over Italy to go and live in Cremona and learn how to make Stradivari violins or something. So a young Japanese kid goes over there, he starts working on making violins. Is he going to be on Italian TV? Because Italian TV is going to say, look at this, a young Japanese boy wants to make violins. Italy couldn't care less. They totally ignore the boy. There's dozens of them. People come from all over the world to study in Italy how to make violins. So they don't care about it. But here in Japan, it's the other way around. There's some kind of national, what's the word? Not insecurity or something. I don't know the right word to say. Even though Japan has a glorious, world-class, totally interesting, fantastic culture full of all kinds of interesting stuff, there's still a sense of insecurity here. And when foreigners come and praise it, oh my God, this is wonderful, they're all really, wow, thank you very much. They feel better about it. And that's it, the media, they just can't stop making these programs. Foreigner coming to study Japanese woodblock prints. Foreigner coming here to become karate master. Foreigner here to study judo. Whatever it is, the media is all over us. And people lap it up. People absolutely lap it up. You know, somebody's writing inferiority complex. I guess that sounds a bit heavy and psychological. And each individual person you meet is not really like this. It's something in the culture when you add it all up together as a whole. The individual people are not inferior or have an inferiority complex. It's something to do with the culture as a whole. It might be to do with those hundreds of years of isolation when they came out of that and looked around the world and saw the modern stuff and realized, oh my God, we're a little bit behind the eight ball, let's get with it. I don't know if it dates from that time or not. Somebody's mentioning changing buses. What's this? Oh, the bus driver. Yes. So maybe it wasn't a good analogy. I don't know. The point was I was trying to make to the guy just simply, I do my job, you do your job, and there we go. Actually, there's a better analogy about keeping that same job for 10 years, making the prints. You know, people said, oh my God, it took you 10 years to make those prints. The better analogy would have been, I should have talked about my brother. He's a musician. He was an independent studio musician, you know, floating around getting jobs here and there in Europe, in Britain. And one day he got a job in Germany at a theater. He did whatever, he got this job offer, come and play in this theater for a while, doing something. So he took the job offer, played in the theater. They did matinees, evening shows. Turned out he was over there for 24 years. In the same theater, and the same show was running all that time. He was in the orchestra for the show they call Starlight Express over in Europe. And that, to me, that's a killer. 24 years in the same job, playing the same songs every night. That I don't think I could have done. Yeah, he's retired now. He got lucky/unlucky. The Starlight Express, they just changed to a smaller orchestra. I guess they've automated and recorded some of the music or something. I don't know the details. But they've shrunk down. Instead of having a whole bunch of live musicians playing saxes and trumpets and stuff, they shrunk down to some kind of small orchestra with keyboards or whatever. I don't know the details. So he's out. He's on a pension. So maybe he's got the last laugh. He did that job for 27 years or whatever it was, or 25 years. He gets a pension. I do mine for all these years. I don't have a pension, so. Finland is similar, is it? I hear lots of jokes about Finnish people that really seem to resonate with Japanese people, you know. Somebody published some kind of funny little semi-blog a while back, a few months back. It was about Finnish people and the funny things they do when they're interacting with each other in public. And somebody here saw that and realized that it matches exactly Japanese. So if you just see those little pictures, you take out the Finnish word and you put in Japanese, it matches exactly. It was cute and funny. I can't remember what it was actually. Questions running by here pretty fast. My friend is in Bolcombe being the musical director for Starlight. Yeah, well, maybe he's the one who put the bullet in my brother and put him out on the street. I don't know. Oh my God, questions. The 1,000 hours, 10,000 hours, give me a break. That's the biggest myth I've ever seen in my life. 10,000 hours. I don't know who started that or where it came from. I think I remember reading a Malcolm Gladwell story about that. And I think it's a hoax. Not a hoax, it's hokum. Bit too much there. Anytime I say something bad about something, the gods punish me instantly. Too much size there. Yeah, I was just joking about the bullet, of course, you know, I mean, whatever. My brother was coming to retirement age, and it just matched exactly. A few months before he was due to retire there, they changed the orchestra size and shrank it down. I think he got counted out to the end. I don't know. There's no hostility here. He's laughing at this point. He's done his years. He's ready for his pension, so. The 10,000 thing, the reason I'm against that idea, I was chatting about this, so an acquaintance of mine, I can't say he's a deep friend, we've only met once, an acquaintance of mine, and Ford Hallam, he's got a YouTube channel, maybe you've seen him, he's the guy who makes tsuba, the metal fittings for swords. When there's a sword there's a metal fitting at the end of it. And Ford, he's a British / South African who's making those. He's a real nice guy. He was over here a few years ago, and we were chatting about this, and for some reason that topic of 10,000 hours. There's my laundry, but just a sec, let's finish these last few sheets here on this first stack of paper. We're talking about the 10,000 hours, and he said the same thing. He said, God, how do they get this idea of 10,000 hours, you know, blah, 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 blah. And the point both he and I made together, we were laughing at each other about this, is it's quite possible to do the same hour over and over and over 10,000 times. It doesn't get you anywhere. You get a bit of whatever muscle memory, but that's all you get. The idea is you do the 1 hour, I'm simplifying this, you do the 1 hour, you look at your stuff and you think, how can this be better? Oh, I see something, look, let's try that a bit different. And that's your second hour. Then at the end of the second hour, you look at it again, you think, that's not so good, that didn't work, let's try something else. So it's got to be 10,000 different hours, not the same hour repeated again and again and again. So it's not just repetition. It's, I don't know what the catchphrase is. It's a repetition with constant improvement. Kaizen, genau. Has any of this work taken a toll on your hands? Whatever, I carve, I print, I do this. Laundry, I know, I just heard the beep, but just give me a minute here. Deliberate practice, yeah, what is it? There's something too that the classical musicians use. I know, deep practice. I think the classical musicians call it that. It's not just practice, it's deep practice. They try and analyze why that thing doesn't work and click, 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 click. Laundry, 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 yes, 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 yes. Okay, it's good timing because we've just finished the first half of the first batch of 2 sheets of paper. So just a second. Brush goes back in so it doesn't dry out. Where's the cover? Plastic cover, plastic cover. Okay, cover this so it doesn't dry out. Oops. Okay, excuse me a second here. It's going to take a couple of minutes. Should I bother turning the camera on? I don't think so. Just give me a second here. Where to put it? Down she comes. As there's 10,000 Twitch followers watch a guy hang his laundry. Real useful, right? What bizarre world. Oops. What are we doing? Got to be done. Sorry guys, excuse me. Got to be done. Here's the answer everybody's been waiting for. It's boxers. Ha! And one briefs, my son-in-law. You think he'd get with the program? Doesn't know what he's missing. All right, back to work. Sorry about that. Let's go. Man's got to do what a man's got to do. Back to work. I'm a boxer guy. No way. I was briefs as a child because when you're a child, your mother buys your stuff for you. You don't know anything about it. But as soon as you get in control of your own gear. Okay, what have I got to do here? Got to flip this over. Okay, what we're doing now, again, sorry about the newcomers, it's maybe a bit incomprehensible, I don't know. We're putting glue onto Japanese paper. And we've done the first side of that particular batch. And now we have to do the back side. So the paper you see here now was coated on one side already, and now I'm going to coat the reverse side. No, people ask about the smell of the glue all the time. There really isn't. So no, if somebody came up the stairs into the room, they'd know something warm is in the air, but there's no stink at all. Nothing at all. It's a light. It's not so different from a soup smell, you know. I mean, it is gelatin from bones or whatever. There's nothing unpleasant about this. And people ask all the time about this. There's no, you know, it's warm water with a little bit of something. I don't know. I haven't drank it. The glue is made from collagens, you know, rendered up animal bones and stuff like that. So. Okay, let's do the back side of this now. I may have missed many questions. I'm sorry if that's the case. Now the back side, because the paper's already a little bit, you know, actually wet, the back side needs less glue in the brush. I've wiped off more at that point. Here we go. And those of you who have seen me do this many times before know there's a danger now on the back side. When I did the first side, swiping it down, the paper could stretch in advance of the brush. No problem. But now that the paper is wet, when I put each sheet on, and even though this is glue, it's still not all that sticky. But now the paper is wet, and these are a little bit attaching. So if I press too hard with the brush going down now, this paper in advance of the brush doesn't have the freedom to slide down out of the way. And it's possible if I press too hard with the brush, the paper will buckle up because it wants to stretch here, but it can't move here. So I've got to be much, much, much more careful now with the amount of pressure I use. Starting out is okay, but as I get here, I've got to take it easy with the pressure. Lighten up. And you can also see something else going on. The brush is at a 90 degree or nearly 90 degree angle so that the glue doesn't leak out of it. And as I move along, as the amount of liquid decreases, I've got to increase the angle here so I'm nearly at 90 or something by the time I get to the end. The idea being to even the flow, because lots comes out and you've got to keep it at the same volume of flow right across the sheet. And somebody for sure in a minute is going to ask, why isn't this automated? Why don't you build a machine for it? It should be really easy. And it would be, quote, easy, unquote, to build a machine for this, but at our volume of production, it's really not so. I mean, what do? I do this once a week, twice a week, 60 sheets each time. The investment to build a machine that would do it at our accuracy level, it just doesn't make any sense. And the bigger picture too, you know, we're not here to try and automate this. Over the years, people have built printing systems. They've automated it very much, so it's been done, you know. Our pleasure is in the handwork. Our pleasure is in the handwork. I better keep that on. There was a conversation, we were in the shop, you know, whatever, last week, a week, 2 weeks ago, I can't remember the date or whatever, we're talking with somebody about this, you know, the idea about why we do this when modern machines can do it so much better, you know. Of course they can do it so much better. And somebody, I don't remember, it was me or whoever else was talking, said, yeah, they play basketball too. It'd be really easy to build a robot that sits there and shoots a ball plop up into the middle of the basket, right? We know how to do that. It would be dead easy. Robots can shoot balls into baskets. But that's not like what we do. The pleasure is in watching people do things with mastery, and especially difficult things. We have fun, we enjoy watching that kind of thing, you know. Too much liquid there in that corner. Absolutely too much liquid in that corner. Come on, guys, get with the coaching, please. Oh, it's Halloween night, is it over there? Soka, Soka. Yeah, of course, November 1st here. We get a better camera angle, maybe? Let's see. Oh, noise on the stairs. Suga-san. Suga-san, Suga-san, good morning. Thanks to the stream, the paper is out. この人たちからすぐその紙出してくださいとかよく。
来るんですか。
そう。
ありがたい。
Come and say hello.
ありがとう。
This is Sugi-san, one of our printers. She's early today again. You're getting early.
今日早い。
結構早いでしょ。
今日早い。そう。
仕事いっぱいですか？
ちょっといっぱいいろいろやりたいこと溜まってたから。
絵の具の準備など。
とかいろいろそうだ。
ちょっとすぐさんとレイちゃんのボタンあったんですが、レイちゃんの紙がなかったんです。
今日？
だからボタンありますが、紙が見つからないです。
昨日終わったのかなじゃあ。
あるの。
本当。
だから僕間違ったか。
本当だ。ないね。
下にもない。でも名前がないもの。この石川さんの古いものの下に何も名前がないもの。
あれなんだそうや。本当だ。
結構古い。もうずっと。
でもそうだね。ずっとある。じゃあ持って帰ったか？
昨日の話途中で一回乾かす話あったんですから。
それでまたもう一回。そうかもしれない。バックするとかすらないとかなんか言ってて。そうだね。そうだよ。
ストリームの皆さんからGood morning すぐさんが書いてありますよ。 I noticed yesterday that when I was great wave order. Yesterday when I was looking over the finished stream, the finished chat, there's a bit of confusion here about some of the people who are working here. This was Suga-san. She's a young lady about 37 or 38, whatever. She came to us a few years ago. She works as a printer, comes 3, 4, 5 days a week. She's not the lady who you saw behind me a while ago who comes and makes tea and was offering it to some of the people on the street. That's Ishikawa-san. She's been printing our subscription prints. She's done the whole Legendary Loot series this year by herself. She's a bit closer to my age. So there's two ladies that are confusing. And Ishikawa-san is usually here on the weekends, Saturday or Sunday. Suga-san is usually here on weekdays. Her husband's off on the weekends, so she doesn't usually come on the weekends. With Ishikawa-san, it's the other way around. So there's a bit of confusion between some of the people here, I think. And it was voices. I know Ishikawa-san is the one who has broken our microphone on a couple of occasions. Ishikawa-san, not Suga-san. But Suga-san also, because she's sometimes really genki, wow! It's confusion about the voices, because she sometimes has a loud voice too. So apologies. If they were here at the same time one day, maybe you could see the difference and understand who they are, but they overlap a bit. Then there's Shiba-san. This is somebody else you're talking about. Somebody's not posting about Shiba-san. She's the girl who comes here, does the ninja crouch to do sizing. That's another one of our girls. We should publish or something, a staff directory or something, or get them all to pose for a photograph together and put their names up, you know. Get everyone to come in when they can't do it, John. It's just not possible. You know, they commute from a long way away. They're just, you know, they're all doing different things on their days off. I can't just demand everybody come in Wednesday or something and do this. It's just not practical. You know, if they were full-time employees, you get them all at the same day, but that's not how it works here. You know? Have I thought of changing the stream name for branding? No. Is that, yeah, Photoshop it. I mean, that's it. So, well, we don't need to have them all in the same picture. We could just put a selection of pictures on the blog, you know, just introduce them. We should do that, of course, you know. Okay, what we'll do here, 8:41, we should be getting a visit from my assistant Cameron in a few minutes. I'm nearly at the end of this stack. I've got 2 stacks to do today. So what we'll do is I'll finish up the next few sheets of this one. It has to wait before hanging. I've got a small show and tell. Not a big dramatic show and tell. I've got a small show and tell this morning. So I'll finish this little batch of paper, do the show and tell. Cameron will probably join me. We'll start the second batch. Well, Cameron probably is not going to want to hang around up here because he's going to be busy today. It's the first of the month, so it means all the subscription billing and stuff like that, getting ready for payroll. So he won't want to hang around here a lot, chap. He is going to be a busy black duck this morning. Why did orders in business increase so much this past month? There's 2 or 3 things combining together. On the bar chart I showed, you can probably look back through the history, you can see there's seasonal peaks. It's spring, autumn, spring, autumn, spring, autumn. That's the number of people coming to Japan. So right now, October, November, there's a whole lot more people in Japan. Point 1. Point 2 is last time we had this spring, autumn, we were still upstairs. We were on the 2nd floor. We opened the downstairs shop in mid-July. So this is our first autumn season, peak season with a downstairs shop. So lots and lots more people are seeing us. Point number 3 is the the documentary movie that was made about us 3 or 4 years ago has been playing on heavy rotation in most of the world's major airlines for the past few months. It started with Delta Airlines months and months ago, and now our movie is on, my God, it's a long list. Lufthansa, Cathay Pacific, British Airways, Singapore Airlines. There's just a long, long list that has a movie in the airline seatback system about us. And it's provided a stunning boost to our business over the past couple of months, and specifically this month. The increased number of tourists coming for the autumn season see this movie in the airplane and come straight over here. KLM also, Air France also. There's a long, long, long list. So it's a combination of these things. Then, okay, the occasional, Reddit thing happens now and then. YouTube is constantly putting some of my movies, my YouTube videos out in front of people, especially that visit to a carver, which now has approaching 1 million views. So it's a combination of a whole lot of things. And then our normal organic growth. We've been in this shop for 4 years. People tell their friends tell their friends. It goes around. That spike, none of that spike is holiday business because I still haven't got the gift print up on the website yet. I still haven't finished the test printing of the gift print. The documentary right now, other than the airplanes, it is, I'm told it's on Hulu in America at the moment. It's on Amazon all over the place, but it's on Amazon Prime free for, I believe, North American viewers, subscribers. Other than that, it's on the usual iTunes, pay for play kind of a thing. You can rent it or download it. And we don't control it. It was a documentary about us, but we don't own it. We don't run the business. We have nothing to do with it. Don't ask me for a copy. I can't help you. I don't have a copy myself. It's not our property. It's just about us, and it's helping our business tremendously. Okay, first half of the paper is done today. I'm running late, it's 8:46. Let's get it aside.
あそこ濡れてるのね。はい。
Okay, let's do a quick show and tell, but I gotta get back to the sizing work. So just a quick show and tell. Let's move the camera. Earthquake.
もう
Earthquake, earthquake, earthquake. Here we go. Okay. Oops. Earthquake, earthquake. Hi. My breakfast today is a half-eaten cinnamon roll. This stream brought to you today. Suga-san, このもの、上司連が帳でしょ？プロナンシエーション、読み方？
女子そう習字？何これ？ああ、お習字のやつか。女子習
字じゃない、絵ですね。
絵なんだ。
そうですが読み方はやっぱり上司習が帳
かな？習学帳かな。
I'm not quite sure the reading of this, some of the older characters. Anyway, what we got here is, can you hear me? She's making noise with the thing, it's okay. This is from, the date, publishing date is, it was published in Meiji, John, get your numbers ready. Published in Meiji 36 first, and this edition is from Meiji 40. And it was published under the auspices of the Education Ministry here in Japan and sent out to schools. This would be maybe for high schools and middle schools, not quite sure. And it's volume 8 in a series. I don't know if she's making so much noise. Is it okay? Can we hear what's going on? 大丈夫ですか？ちょっと
うるさい？
いや、そう。
ちょっと待ってね。
はいはい。
もう終わる。
So you can hear, okay. What it is, it's a little book of 10 sheets. I think a couple of them are missing. And what they are, this would be sent to a school, and not that every student would have them. The teacher would keep little books like this. And you pass out the sheets to the girls along with blank paper. And the girls, this is what they use for a model for drawing. In fact, what I should do is I should find one at the back here just a sec. One of the sheets is blank, squared, like graph paper. Have a look at this, Suga-san. We have here blank squared graph paper with the outline of a fish on it. And we have a sample of the painted fish. So you can see what we're at here. This is a sample drawing painting book for the kids to learn and practice how to do drawing and painting. And this is in an era before color printing was available. So to do textbooks for practicing English or Japanese, they carve and print wooden blocks and print textbooks. But how do you print a textbook or a sample book for drawing and painting in color when you have no color printing presses? You get it with woodblock prints. So what you're seeing is a selection of, these are actually woodblock prints put into a folder, and the girls weren't studying printmaking, the girls were studying how to use their brush, doing watercolor paintings. But the two genres, color printmaking and watercolor painting, are so similar in look and feel and in touch and in taste that you could do this. So there's the idea. There's the sample. It's giving you an idea. Here's what to do, how to get it to fit within the squares. I mean, we did that when I was a kid. We tried to expand and shrink drawings by using a network, a graph of squares. This is the fish called tai, sea bream, I think. I can't remember the English, bream or sea bream or something. And it's the standard fish used for celebrations. When you're donating fish to somebody for a wedding celebration or something, you use a bream. And the reason is tai is part of the word omedetai, congratulations. So tai became a fish that was used for congratulatory times. And even in this funny little textbook, they've really done a nice job of the printmaking. How many gradations? I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 little ones on the mouth there. They've gone to some trouble to do this, you know. This is a simple little woodblock print. Good morning, Karen-san. We're just in the middle of a very small show and tell here. You're going to be a busy guy today, right? It's billing day and stuff. Yep. So. This is it's a little, not textbook, it's a sample book for high school girls to learn how to do painting and stuff. Huh. And because there was no cheap, ready color printing yet in that era. In Europe, I think lithography and stuff was just getting up and running with color printing and stuff. But this is late Meiji. And they had the printers sitting there waiting, so whatever, use them. Huh. I don't think, are they persimmons or not? I don't really know. I think the leaves look a bit too long and thin. Yeah. Is it, I don't know, it's not beagle.
Is it a type of apple?
I don't know. It could be a type of persimmon, but I wouldn't have yelled persimmon straight away.
No, because the leaves at the top of a persimmon usually has the 4 leaves right at the top of the fruit.
It's not, somebody, it's already in the stream.
I've been eating them.
Somebody's yelling persimmons, and I don't think so. Plums. Kind of a plum, maybe. I don't know, whatever. Irrelevant to us. But how many impressions? You can see gradations on most of these leaves. There's double green, 2 green levels, lots of gradation on the fruit. Yeah. But again, the point was not to sell beautiful woodblock prints. The point was to supply models for the girls to sit there and practice. You see this camera? They supply one blank sheet with grid, and they show the fish image printed already on the grid, and then the sample fish itself. So I'm really not quite sure what you're supposed to do, because there's no grid on all the other ones. So how are you supposed to transfer the information across? I don't really know.
Interesting.
Or maybe that's it. You draw your own grid on here? I don't know. I don't think so. This is wisteria, and look at this. Can we catch the light? Look at this. This is not silver. This is done with something that was an exotic pigment back in those times. This is aluminum powder, or aluminium powder. And they're good. They're cute. They're cool. This one's a bit strange. I'm not quite sure why this would be included. Were they expecting the girls to learn how to draw like geometric patterns and stuff? I don't really know. I get the fish and stuff to teach them how to do brush strokes, but why would they include something like this? Anyway, there it is. And another standard floral. What's this, a lily, I think? Maybe, I'm not really quite sure. And these are not glorious woodblock prints. They're pretty rough, and some of them, the registration is a little bit not so tight. Here we are. Different genres. Bit of landscape. Somebody's saying that's for the boys. None of this was for the boys. This was all going for girls' schools. Absolutely. The boys may have had similar stuff. I kind of doubt it. I think the boys were working on Chinese characters and literature and Japanese history, stuff like that. The boys were given different levels of schooling back in these days. This is god-awful. Look at that awful face. This was a model for painting? Oh well. And there's our colophon again. This was Meiji 40. So a little bit of trivia. It's no big deal. This is not a gorgeous drop dead, the best, highest class woodblock prints that have ever been made in the world. But it's just to show again the fact that I keep hammering to people down in the shop. They come in here thinking that woodblock prints are art. Woodblock printing in Japan was the printing business. It was literally, absolutely literally, the printing business. It was for commercial use. And the purpose was to reproduce stuff and get it out there. And once color printing came along, you know, offset printing and color lithography, once that came along, it blew this stuff away, of course. There we have it. I have now got to get back to my work. We picked this up last week at a Yahoo auction. Somebody put it out there, whatever, start price, 100 yen. Nobody else bid. Nobody wants this stuff. It's of zero interest to anybody. So we picked it up for, I forget the exact number, a few hundred yen. A nice find. Okay, I have to get back to work. Let me try and move the camera back here. Another earthquake coming. Is that about where she goes? Somewhere on there? Okay, the second half, the same number of sheets of paper, but this is now smaller. There's a different backboard. They'll fit there easily. I think I'll use a smaller brush. We should have put that into soak while we were doing that shot. Okay, let's boogie because I am now going to be in time pressure. I am the host of the 10 o'clock party. What programming language do you use to automate your workshop? We're in the middle of a transition right now. I know the first programming work that I used to do back in Canada when I worked for the music shop, I worked in assembler first, and that's way long. This is back in 1979 or something. Way at the back, it was programs in assembler for running a business. That was a hoot. Then we got ourselves an IBM AT, which was running something like, it was MS-DOS 3 point something, and it had the IBM Business Basic or something that was in there. I can't remember what it was actually called. So that was a step up, a huge step up, Business Basic. It didn't have subroutines, which made things a little bit difficult. Your go to. It was absolute chaos. But it was good programming, learning how not to do it. Then over here in Japan, what I use is, I don't go back to assembler, nothing like that at all. I'm using, our custom software runs on Macs, and I use a program that is currently called Xojo, X-O-Z-O, and it's a similar program to what on Windows World is called Visual Basic. It's a simple stuff. It's not complicated at all. You drag and drop in your interface and write some code behind it, and away you go. But we're transitioning from that. We're running now most of our software, our manager software, through a web browser, and the back end is your standard stack. It's PHP, PHP running through web pages, HTML5 and CSS. So nothing complicated at all. Nothing complicated. The assembler days are long behind me. They were great training. They were good fun at the time, but give me a break, of course. So these days it's nothing complicated. Standard web browser stuff. PHP, a bunch of JavaScript. And we really try and keep it simple. When I look at the inside of a Facebook page or something, I just want to barf. It's just, I don't want to talk about it. They've given those guys free rein to use resources, and every single programmer on the team just uses resources like there was nothing left. And you look behind a typical Facebook page and it's, whatever it is, 30 megabytes of JavaScript, and nobody can understand it. So we keep it really clean, really simple, really clean, really simple. The idea being that somebody else could come in here and take over and understand it. Okay, let's get going. how does programming relate to this? It's all part of running a business. Here we go. Oh, too much liquid. Come on, Dave, get with the program. That brush has much longer hair. The thing about that Facebook JavaScript too is every kid on their programming team obviously has the totally latest up-to-date computer and operating system, you know. So the stuff they write runs on those up-to-date operating systems. My Mac here now is 2.5 years old, which is not so old. I run Yosemite 10.10, and I now can't access a normal Facebook page because the JavaScript doesn't run. I have to do it in Google Chrome. And that's a real bugbear for me, that they won't support anything other than the most top-level, cutting-edge browser. And their answer is just, whatever, upgrade, upgrade, go ahead, upgrade. And not all of us want to upgrade all the time, all the time, all the time. Looking good. I got it stable. That first sheet, woo, it's okay, it'll soak in, no big deal. JavaScript on the server side JavaScript? I haven't done anything like that. What's the advantage there? PHP modules. Yeah, dependencies. Don't talk to me about dependencies. My God, we had a huge problem a couple of years ago because the earlier versions of PHP, we're going back here 10, 15 years, PHP 4 and stuff like this, didn't handle multi-byte languages. So we were trying to run a website and stuff in Japanese as well as in English. And PHP, originally developed by people in the West, didn't handle Asian characters. Once PHP got to the level, whatever it was, 7 or something, I forget where it all changed. It totally handles the multi-byte characters easily. But my God, we wrestled with that. Custom initializations and just total headaches all the way down the line. Somebody's recommending I upgrade to Mojave. Unfortunately, we can't do that on our main production computer here because the custom software that I've written, Mojave has destroyed the way that fonts used to work on a Mac, and my software can no longer use different fonts if we run it on Mojave. It's the same thing, it's dependencies. So we keep one system here running, the one downstairs on Cameron's desk I think is running 10.7. It's the last system that would run what they called Rosetta on a Mac. And we have to keep at least one machine running that here to handle my legacy software. This is part of the reason why we're changing to the LAMP stack system, of course, because that will run basically up on anything. But my custom software won't run on the new Mojave. Oh, was somebody talking about Java on this? I thought somebody said JavaScript on the server, which I didn't think was a thing. But Oh, the left-handed, right-handed question. How can I answer that easily doing this? Now, if I can take a rain check on that question, while I'm here doing sizing, I can't show you the specific conversation about left-handed, right-handed knives. I'd really like to take a rain check. If you ask me when I'm downstairs at the carving bench on a carving stream one day, I can easily answer it and show you what's going on. But I can't do it verbally right now as we sit here doing sizing. So I'm sorry about the left-handed question. But we're going to take a rain check on that one. The font issues, I don't myself understand what the problem has come. And it came with a 10.13.3, just a minute. 10.13 was okay, 10.13.2 was okay, 10.13.3, a major change in the font frameworks down in the guts of the system happened. And our software doesn't know how to communicate properly, or the system doesn't know how to communicate with my software. And that was just the end of it. And there was nothing we could do about it. Nothing we can change, nothing we can code. Not something in the OS 10 at 10.13.3 or 4, whichever it was, killed our software, stone dead. And going back and talking to the developers that created the framework that I used, they said the same thing. We're out of it, nothing. Upgrade, please. So we now have legacy software, a real ton of legacy software here. And that's why I said, that's why we're making the change now, bit by bit, module by module. As I get time to rewrite it, we're moving to a server-based system. Somebody said, you just bought left-handed carving tools. If you're a right-handed person, that's probably okay. Don't panic. I know. I'm a left-hander and I use right-handed carving tools. Save money switching to LAMP. I don't know about that. Not having to rewrite everything. I'm not quite sure how that saves money. Our current software, the stuff that I wrote over the years, is actually extremely efficient because it's totally custom designed, of course. And it's also secure to the gills. It runs in-house on a Mac. I mean, there is no bots and robots and hacking that can get into our system here. Whereas anything running on a web server is fair game for hackers all over the place, of course. How are you going to hack my software when you don't even know what I've written? You know? What is it? Subpixel anti-aliasing, something like this. So I said I don't understand what it is down inside that changed, but it's game over. Simply, our software cannot it cannot create the lettering, it cannot create fonts. So I can run the software, you try and print a mailing label, and nothing comes out. Dave is not an expert in cybersecurity at all. Dave struggles to keep up with that stuff. Our answer to cybersecurity is to run oddball, out-of-the-way systems that nobody's interested in. That's our answer to cybersecurity. I shouldn't talk about it too much, or someone will say, hey, I gotta go and hack Dave just to show him. There's nothing to hack, believe me. We don't have credit card stuff on our... Okay, where are we? 9/11. Okay, it's now 9/11. I gotta do the back side of this, and then I am going to be out of here. I don't know, somebody asked a while ago, it would be a good idea. We should give a tour one day. I should do in one of these streams, I do a show and tell about the wood butt prints. There seems to be lots of interest in our system. So what I should do maybe is one day bring up a screen window here and take you through some of our software, what it does, because it's actually kind of cool, you know. Some of our software is really, really nice. So I should do that one day if I get time for it. This broadcast software here allows us to do, to broadcast a window. So I should do that one day. Anybody be interested? I don't know. Okay, here we go, backside. Have a camera zoom around the shop, you know, people ask, you know, I don't have, we have different Wi-Fi on the 3 floors of this building because we don't get good Wi-Fi access from one floor to the next. So to get a portable camera with my Wi-Fi pack and run around and try and show you a video of the whole shop on one stream is actually technically difficult for me. Because the streaming software here doesn't allow me to jump from one Wi-Fi to another during the course of one stream. I could maybe do it, you know, we've got a pocket Wi-Fi here. If I set the resolution a little bit lower, got a pocket Wi-Fi, we're still low, if we're still streaming to a laptop, get Cameron to carry the laptop while I run the camera. Don't sweat the laptop, guys. People ask all the time. I've got a cover on the keyboard. Stream from a smartphone, yeah, I could do if I had one. You know, lots of potential projects, but we're just so busy. I'm sorry, you know, so busy, so busy. Just take what you can get from us. The fact that this exists is cool. Yeah. It would make more sense rather than a live stream. It would make more sense as a curated, excuse me, a curated video. Can somebody give me a hint? Did we get a bunch of viewers today, new people, because of those Reddit things, or has it been a quiet viewership today? I see a few names I don't recognize in the chat here. I also see regular names. Yeah, it's quiet then. It's good. You were telling me the other day we had like 300 people, and I'm like, wow, what is going on here? You know, 300 people coming in to check this out. I can't imagine if we get too many viewers, it's just impossible to see who people are and to have some sense of talking to friends. You know, if it became thousands, I wouldn't know what to do with this. You know. Yeah, as we're getting closer to the end of this one, then I should not wrap up, but I should talk about what's going on. Today's Thursday morning here in Japan. I'll be streaming again, of course, Friday morning. For those of you who are new here, we try and stream 6 days a week, Japanese time in the morning, except Tuesday, Japanese time, which is usually Monday evening for other people. We're off Monday evening, Tuesday morning. Other than that, we try and do this every day. The work will vary. Tomorrow's stream probably will be me doing some test printing. I've been struggling to get the test printing done on this year's New Year's gift print, and everybody is really stressing me here. Dave, get it done, get it done, get it done. The shippers are waiting. The printers are waiting to get going. We've got to get the web page open. It's hurting our sales day by day by day. So that's probably going to be what I'll be doing tomorrow morning here on the stream in the next room. Finishing up a test proof of that print and giving the blocks to Suga-san. She's going to do the first batch of 100 or so, I think. And then beyond that, I think the next stream beyond that might be carving. I've got to get carving on the first print in next year's subscription series. So we'll have probably a week or 10 days of steady, solid carving streams starting in a couple of days. And I'll be doing those downstairs at my carving bench, and that'll be a whole different scene from what you're seeing here. So if you're one of the new people here yesterday and today, please understand it's not this same thing that we're doing here every day, every day, every day. This is a sizing stream, happens about once a week. Sometimes it's a printing stream. Mostly it's a carving stream. So if you're new here, check it out again a couple more times just to get an idea of the variety. I haven't lived in Japan my whole life. The first 5 years was England, and the next 30 years was Canada, and the last 33 years, does that add up? 32 years, has been here in Japan. I'll be 67 next week, rolling up another number. Yes, I can speak Japanese. Yes, yes, yes. I can't write it in any really good form. I can read it generally, as long as it's not too old-fashioned. And conversation, talking, giving speeches, interviews and stuff is totally no problem. Yes, I'm still using Harada-san's carving bench. You'll be seeing it downstairs. All the carving streams are done on Harada-san's carving bench. Omedeto, what's that for? Next week, my birthday is next week. 67. Birthday's 11. It's easy to remember. November 11th. 11/11 is when I was born. In fact, it's 511111. It's kind of a curious birthday. Easy to remember. 511111. Somebody says, evening, you're just coming in? I have bad news for you. What's 11/11 in Germany? I don't know the local thing there, I'm sorry. Is it an infamous date or a famous date or something? I don't know. 1947. Yes, good. I think mine's pretty easy to remember. 511111. End of the First World War. Armistice Day. Okay, I see. Of course. Yeah. Sorry, but you said specifically for Germany. I thought whatever. I mean, as I was growing up too, my birthday was always a school holiday. Not a school holiday, but a holiday at school. At 11 o'clock, we did minute of silence and stuff like that. So I always had the feeling my birthday was a bit special because it was Armistice Day. When you mentioned this part of Germany, I didn't realize that. You were speaking so generally. So. Sorry, I should have got that. All right, we are done with the brushing here. It's 9:23. I've got to get downstairs to check on Kawai-san. We got a staff member, Teiko-san. She booked off today. So it's me and Kawai-san are going to be doing it all by ourselves. We've got 3 parties, I think 4 parties scheduled. We're doing the microwave. All the parties now are microwave parties, all of them. We've just made a switch cold turkey. We switched over last Saturday. And our print party experience is now pretty much exclusively a microwave experience. Okay, I've got to get out of here. Have you done an Okada Yoshio print before? Yes, it's in the YouTube videos that I did a couple of months back called Beginnings Part 1. There's an Okada Yoshio woodblock print in there. But guys, I have got to get out of here. I got to get moving now. Thanks very much for watching this. If you're a newbie here, I'm sorry that this particular activity is not so interesting. As I said, come back in for some other streams and you'll see a different bunch of activities here. There will be printing, there will be carving, lots of things going on. We may even do a stream from one of the print parties next week. There's a print party scheduled at 9 o'clock. So what I might do is put a note up here saying today's stream will be 1 hour later and we'll stream a microwave print party, something like that. I don't know, we'll see. No promises. Okay, I have got to get out of here. Thank you very much, new followers and old followers. See you later. Thanks for this and bye-bye. Here we go. And if I can find my stop streaming button, where is it? Here it is. Okay, thanks again. Bye-bye, guys.